The diplomatic chamber fell silent as the alien warship's transmission crackled through the speakers. Judith stood motionless at the observation window, her fingers pressed against the cold glass as she watched the massive vessel eclipse Europa's pale surface. After 53 years of peace, the hunters had finally come. "Commander Hayes," the synthesized voice echoed through the station. "We are the Kethrin Imperium. You harbor criminals of our empire. Surrender them, or your station will be purged." Peter moved beside Judith, his jaw clenched tight. As head of security, he'd drilled for this moment countless times, but theory felt hollow now that it was real. Below them, in the habitat rings, lived 3,000 Varani refugees, the remnants of a species that had fled their own galaxy to escape the Kethrin genocide. "How long do we have?" Judith asked, her voice steady despite the storm raging inside her. "They're charging weapons," Peter replied, checking his datapad. "Maybe 20 minutes before they can fire on the station." Judith turned from the window, her eyes scanning the command crew. Young faces, mostly. A generation that had grown up knowing the Varani as neighbors, friends, family. Her own daughter had married a Varani engineer. Their grandson played in the nursery 3 levels down. "Open a channel," she ordered. The holographic display shimmered to life, revealing a Kethrin commander, all sharp angles and crystalline armor, its 3 eyes blazing with cold certainty. "I am Commander Judith Hayes of Sanctuary Station," she began, her voice carrying the weight of authority earned through decades of service. "The beings you call criminals are citizens of this station, protected under human law. They have committed no crimes." The Kethrin's mandibles clicked in what might have been amusement. "They exist. That is crime enough. They are an inferior species, designated for elimination. Your interference 53 years ago was overlooked. But our patience has limits." Peter's hand moved instinctively toward his sidearm. Judith caught his eye, shook her head slightly. "Not yet." "Then let me tell you about humans," Judith said, stepping closer to the hologram. 53 years ago, a small Varani ship limped into our solar system, damaged and desperate. They told us their story, how your Imperium had decided their entire species was imperfect, how you'd hunted them across 3 star systems, how you'd destroyed their worlds. She paused, letting her words sink in. "We gave them sanctuary, not because we were strong enough to fight you. We weren't. We gave it because it was right." "Sentiment is a weakness," the Kethrin commander hissed. "We will demonstrate why." "You asked why we interfered," Judith continued, ignoring the threat. "Here's your answer. We're human. We've been refugees. We've been the hunted. We've faced extinction ourselves more times than we care to remember. And we learned something you clearly haven't, that diversity isn't weakness. It's strength." The Kethrin commander's eyes narrowed. "Philosophical posturing will not save you." Peter activated the tactical display behind Judith. Red icons bloomed across the screen, dozens of them, hundreds, appearing from behind Luna, Mars, the asteroid belt. "You're right," Peter said quietly. "It won't. But this might." The Kethrin commander's confident posture shifted, just slightly. "What is this?" 53 years, Judith explained. "Did you think we sat idle? Did you think we didn't prepare for this day?" She gestured at the display. "Those are human vessels, military, civilian, corporate. Mining ships converted to carry weapons, colony transports with militia crews. Even a few Varani craft we helped them build." "We are the Kethrin Imperium," the commander stated, but uncertainty crept into its voice. "We have conquered 16 species. Your fleet is..." "Irrelevant," Judith interrupted. "Maybe. Your ship probably outguns our entire defense force. But here's what you need to understand about humans. We don't fight fair. We fight to win." She leaned forward. "You want these refugees? You'll have to go through every single ship out there. And then through this station, where every corridor is a kill zone, where every civilian has trained for this moment, and when you break through, you'll find that we've armed the Varani too. Peter pulled up another display. More importantly, every human colony, every station, every world is watching this transmission right now. They know you're here. They know what you want. And they've all voted. Voted? The Kethran commander's confusion was almost comical. It's what we do, Judith said with a slight smile. Unanimous decision, by the way. If you attack this station, you declare war on humanity. All of us. And we'll come for you. The chamber fell silent. On the main screen, the Kethran warship hung motionless, weapons still charging but not yet firing. You would risk your entire species, the Kethran finally said, for 3,000 aliens? Yes, Judith replied simply, because they're not aliens anymore. They're us. That's what sanctuary means. That's what humanity means. Peter watched the chronometer tick down. 15 seconds until weapons range. 10. The Kethran commander's image flickered. You are fools. Probably, Judith agreed, but we're fools who keep our promises. 5 seconds. The warship's weapons powered down. This is not over, the Kethran commander stated. We will return. We'll be here, Judith replied, and so will they. The transmission cut. The massive vessel began a slow turn, its engines flaring as it accelerated away from Jupiter's orbit. Around Sanctuary Station, the human fleet held position, watching, waiting. Peter exhaled slowly. They'll be back, with more ships. I know, Judith said, watching the warship disappear into the black. But we bought time, and humans are good at using time. She turned to her crew. Send word to Earth. We need to prepare for real this time. Below them, in the habitat rings, Varani families gathered at viewing ports, watching the threat retreat. Judith could see them celebrating, holding each other. Her daughter's face appeared on her private comm, tears streaming down her cheeks, her Varani husband beside her. Thank you, her daughter whispered. Judith smiled, though her heart was heavy with the knowledge of what was coming. That's what we do, sweetheart. We protect our own. And the Varani, she thought, were definitely their own now.